Hey, what's up everybody? Extramillion here, once again with the last episode of Totally Sick Bioshock 2 Edition. This time we are running through Inner Persephone. Last level was Outer Persephone, this one is the Inside. So the goal of this level is to basically just escape in Sinclair's escape pod, but Sinclair has the key and he is nowhere to be found, so we have to go find him, then release the docking clamps, and then we can get the hell out of here.
The man who would sell paradise.
So I go and I hack that machine. I don't take anything from it just because I'm hacking it for later in the game. There's also an ammo bandito near here that I'll hack just because for whatever reason that vending machine doesn't have drill fuel, so I have to go buy it from the one that's upstairs.
This facility hangs over an ocean trench delta. The family has activated timed charges within its foundations.
I'm just waiting for these doors to unlock, and then we can finally get the level started. My only real goal for this level is to get the last level I need on Brute Splicer so that I can get Armored Shell 2 and equip that. Beyond that, there's not really a whole lot else to do in this level. You basically just have to get the key from Sinclair, then you have to go take care of a bunch of little sisters, and that's pretty much it.
If you need me, Father, I'm going to have a look around.
So I go to the gene bank, I take off Drill Specialist and put on Keen Observer, the first one, just so I can get research that much faster. Kill all these mofos. I'll also go to that Gatherer's Garden machine and buy the last health upgrade and Machine Buster, which makes you do more damage to machines, obviously. It's not really necessary, I just buy it just for the hell of it. I should say that this level is particularly expensive just because, obviously being the last one, they try to throw out all the stops. So you'll be fighting tons of Brute Splicers and the Alpha Series guys, so I need about $300 or $400 to actually finish the level, including the last fight. So before I access the security override switch, I go in here and go to this safe, which gives me about 60 bucks. And then there's another safe later in the level that gives me about $100. You don't have to get them, but money's pretty tight, and I'm not really exploring everywhere, so I kind of just pick up money wherever I can. Like right here, right off the floor. I'm too lazy to even bend down and pick it up. Gotta use telekinesis.
Don't you recognize Sinclair, Delta?
So there's big twist. There's Sinclair. He was captured and turned into an Alpha Series.
Ready to die for the family. As Persephone's former owner, he is the ideal man to put you back in your cage.
I'm not sure why they didn't turn him into one of the more modern Big Daddies, since the Alpha Series are the prototypes, they're the precursors, but whatever. So now Sinclair runs away and he locks himself inside a security office that you have to somehow find the code to get into, or you have to light an oil slick that opens it up, or you can hack a security bot that's inside, or you can just throw the summon Eleanor Plasmid inside. Now, obviously, this level is much harder if you don't use the summon Eleanor Plasmid, because the game assumes that you will, so it kind of pulls out all the stops and sends like tons of enemies after you. So we'll go down here, find another Brute Splicer, kill him. Got a ton of points from him, mostly because of him, since he threw that thing at us. walk through some tripwires, which don't hurt us since we have electric flesh.
I am inside Sinclair's lifeboat now. Delta cannot reach me here, but you can.
And we'll go up here, kill some more guys.
You need not die with him.
And then we'll finally be in the northern cell block.
We shall return
Now, the
to
way
the
that you can find this code, if you didn't already know it like I do, is there are 2 audio diaries that you can go read, or there's a certain area that you can get to where you can, it's written on the wall.
I've locked you in here.
In addition to the other myriad of ways that you can get Sinclair out of that room. He's just there behind us. But we are heading to cell block C to fight the last splicer that I need for, there he is.
Addressing me as a child, Mother.
He's the
Now
last one
that's
that you'll
a
need
clever
for
gambit.
armor
Still
shell.
hoping I'll accept
So we finally have that. It's super useful. Take off Keen
survival
Observer
in
because you don't need it
her
anymore.
We leave together, Father, or this is where we die. Sinclair's
So
correct,
he's dead, and
Father.
now we can go fight Sinclair.
Mother's betting you'll die in here. or that
Sinclair
I'll
is
abandon
basically
you before
a
the
alpha
bombs
series with a
detonate.
grenade launcher,
We'll simply have to
and
go
that's
through
pretty much
him.
it. He just has more health.
Find the code to the watchtower or draw him out. When he is dead, we will take the key.
I tell you the code to that.
He goes down pretty quick.
Sinclair is moving, Father. Track him down. We need that key.
So there's Sinclair. He's dead. We take the key off of his body, use it in the security override, and then we get locked in the office for a couple seconds, and a bunch of other Alpha series come out, and we have to fight them.
Sinclair died a
And
hero
then
of
we
the
make our way
Rapture
back to the
family
escape
Delta.
pod, but wouldn't you know it,
Was he a friend
the
to
whole
you?
area
Or just a
becomes
tool?
flooded where the escape pod is,
Can you
and
even
Eleanor has the
grasp
bright
the
idea that she'll just use a whole bunch of Atom
Under
to
Eleanor,
boil off the
you
excess
have
water.
chosen Subject Delta
But to do that,
over your
to get
mother,
that Atom, she
your
needs
people,
little sisters. Now, if you're
and the
good,
duty of your
you'll
birth.
rescue the little sisters, and
be it.
at the end of the game,
You
she'll
believe
enlist
this
their
craft will
help,
carry
and they'll all
Delta
be
to
standing there.
safety.
But if you're evil, like I am, she'll
Spoiled
basically
child
just
whom
harvest
you
them all,
adore.
and then keep all that power
I
for
have no
herself.
choice but to take it away.
I don't think it actually affects the strength of the summon Eleanor Plasmid.
Mother's turned her attention to the lifeboat, Father. We must return there now.
So there's one down. Blah! Yeah, that actually scared me the first time I played it, just because he whips you around and tries to headbutt you. So we'll go in here, go to this gene bank, and put Fountain of Youth back on. It's not too useful, but it's more useful at this point than Keen Observer. I tried to do a drill dash there, but it only came out as a single swing. This guy, luckily, since he's a grenade launcher one, he just stands there and doesn't shoot at me, since him using grenades would hurt him as well. So we'll wander back through this little area, go back to the
Every
kitchen, buy more
moment
drill fuel,
tears
kill some more
Eleanor
dudes,
further
and then we'll
from
get
me,
our next
Delta.
objective.
Soon, this father obsession will end her. You have left me without want. Before you die, I will take all that you hold dear. Sinclair is just another body in your wake.
Father, use the plasmid. I can help.
So we'll head back upstairs, ignore that guy. Head back to the docking platform.
I was afraid of this. Mother has bombed out the ballast compressors, Father. The lifeboat will be too heavy to launch.
Now we need to head to the
Unless-
pediatric wings.
Let me think. I could boil away the water myself and get the lifeboat to rise, but I will need a great deal of Adam to generate that much heat. The rest of the little sisters will have to be sacrificed. Head to the pediatric wards.
So the first one we'll go to is this one. There's Delta. He's starting to feel the effects of the separation. So he's got some real separation anxiety from Eleanor. Basically, if you're just going to run through this level, just take note that there are more first aid kits lying around than there is just like regular ammo, so I don't actually need to buy any first aid kits. So if possible, I try to avoid using drill fuel so that I don't have to spend as much, which is why I'm just punching the splicer out instead of actually charging her. Then this code is actually not found anywhere in the game. You have to decipher sort of like a little colored riddle with the paintings on the wall. But of course, I already know it. So you go in here, there's a ton of awesome ammo and stuff in here. Hack the safe, it's got like $100 in it. And now I'm pretty much set for money for the rest of the game.
We're almost to the pediatric ward. I expect we'll be fighting our way inside.
There's also a first aid kit in that pneumo tube right there. But of course, what would any of the levels in this game be without a whole bunch of dudes to murder? So as soon as you go in here, you have to secure the pediatric ward, which basically just means they'll throw enemies at you until you kill them.
When you've cleared them out,
and at this point, I'd be insulted if they didn't do that, since that's what happens in every level when you have to touch the 3 glowing MacGuffins of plot advancement to go to your next objective. So all the enemies mostly come off of that platform that's right above me, so I stand here so that they have to jump down, because obviously I can't reach them all the way up there. Just like the Houdini splicer to waste more of my time. Get down here, you asshole. Oh yeah, and I think I may have mentioned it before, but once the drill actually does run out of fuel, it sort of like chugs down like you just turned off a lawnmower, and then you can't use it for a second. But if you just switch to another weapon and then switch back, it'll be ready to swing again. Obviously, since that guy's a grenade launcher one, he didn't attack me either. I'm assuming that they would think at this point that you would have upgraded the grenade launcher so it's a powerful weapon, but joke's on them. When all you're using is the drill,
I will harvest Adam from Mother's other children.
I guess when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
And you'll get a
So we'll buy more drill fuel, then we get to go to the other
share, of course.
medical wing
After we
and get the
visit
rest
those
of the little
wards,
sisters.
we should be strong enough to boil away the water
And then of
launch
course
the
you get a
lifeboat.
share of the Adam that she gets, so if you didn't already have way too much Adam, now you'll have
I'll
even
deal with
more of it.
Mother's pets, just as you showed me. Look, Father, I know you may not have wanted a daughter, but love is just a chemical. We give it meaning by
There's a bunch
choice.
of splicers randomly fighting each
And
other for some
I
reason.
choose to honor you over her. The Plasmid, Father. Just point the way. and
I'm
I'll
not sure
help
why
you
that
fight.
Alpha series was about to like totally deck that guy, but that picking that first aid kit up off the floor just makes me think, man, I would be so lazy if I had telekinesis. Be like, oh, the remote's on the other side of the couch. Better get it with telekinesis.
That's another charge gone. We have to keep moving. If this building falls, we're
So
all
anyway, you
dead.
go in here, and you can pretty much just run through this area. There's a camera behind you, but it doesn't really matter. There's also, for some reason, there's this other ward that's kind of like the one that I'm running through now, where there's a Houdini splicer doctor, only instead of fighting you, he just teleports from patient to patient saying things like, you know, live, damn it, and I'm not gonna lose another one. And so, kudos to his sticking with his job.
Just as she hoped. You must be very
Yeah, there he is. You could probably shoot him and he'll fight you, but he doesn't really bother us, so we won't bother him. Yeah, I'm not sure why all of a sudden all of the splicers are trying to fight each other. There's 2 security cameras in these tiny rooms, and they're both aimed pretty much right at the door. If they do happen to see you, in the very next room, there's a bot shutdown machine. Right there. Kill the rest of these chumps, and then we'll go into the last ward. But first, we'll take off Easy Hack and put Drill Specialist back on, just because we don't really need to hack anything anymore.
We're nearing another pediatric ward. It will be guarded, Father. Get ready. When you've cleared them out, I'll need a signal like before. Push the call button and I'll
So once you
proceed.
kill this guy, then the whole defending the area thing starts up again. This room is a bit more annoying just because it's mostly Houdini splicers, and they mostly appear on that top area that's up there. The only 2 ways to get up to it are these stairs, since I can't shoot them. So if I miss, I'm pretty much guaranteed to just fly right off the edge. Birthday double shot for both of those guys at the same time. This guy, for whatever reason, I tag him once and don't kill him, and then he just runs away, so whatever. So we signal Eleanor one more time, and then we head back to the docking platform, and then we will get into the last area, the last fight that you ever have to do, which I gotta say is unfortunately kind of disappointing. I mean, the first game had Fontaine as the last boss, and he was pretty much like an old school FPS boss, like the Cyber Demon from Doom. You know, he was big, his area was large that you fought him in, he had impressive attacks, he had a ton of health. He was basically an overall, like, cool-looking dude, but this game has, like, no bosses, unfortunately, even though they had every opportunity to do so. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't have made, like, Sinclair the last boss, and made him some, like, super awesome big daddy, or, and give him, like, crazy powers. I mean, you have, what, like, Simon Wales, and that was pretty much it, and even he's just, like, a regular reskinned spider splicer.
Come up to the glass once you're ready for me to begin.
I mean, they could have made Gil into a pretty awesome boss, at least. I mean, because he's supposed to be the progenitor to the Utopian project, so you know he's, like, all spliced to the nines and got the Rapture's greatest minds and all that. But no, he's just some bug nutty fruitcake that lives inside of a big glass jar.
Though Utopia may die with her,
I think that's pretty much everyone's common complaint about this game, is that whether you choose to harvest or rescue or adopt or whatever, or even if you don't, every objective even has you just fighting waves after waves of the same dudes. You know, there's a whole lot of grinding in this. I mean, if I wanted to fight millions of copies of the same 3 or 4 dudes with a bunch of cool guns, I'd probably just play Painkiller or Ratchet and Clank or something. But here we go. This fight is about 3 minutes long. You're basically just waiting for Eleanor to boil off the water. I stick on this side because this is where the this little water thing is that I'll stand in when there are no enemies to regain my health. And then when I run out of drill fuel, I can go upstairs and grab more of it from that ammo bandito, or if I run out of first aid kits, I can go downstairs to the vending machine that's right there. This part is actually pretty challenging. It's actually almost more challenging than the Two Big Sister fight, just because they assume that at this point you're going to be using like security bots and decoy and summon Eleanor and all kinds of things that will like distract people, so they send like 2 or 3 Alpha Series and Root Splicers at you at once. Although it is funny, in this fight I do finally get my revenge against all of those stupid Houdini splicers, where one of them teleports themselves inside of a wall so that she can't move. Obviously, as you can see, this is why I needed all that money. It cost me about $120 to completely refill my drill every time I choose to do it. Alright, so we're pretty much done. We just have to activate the docking platform, and then since I don't have anything to shoot out these pipes with, I just shoot at it with Electrobolt. So that's pretty much one of the only other times that I'm forced to use a Plasmid, since I'm not using guns. And that's pretty much it. As soon as you do that, you have won the game. This whole area floods and all the enemies die, and then you get to go to the escape platform.
We're launching! Get to the elevator!
So you just jump in the elevator. Eleanor is obviously already in there. And this is it. As soon as you get to the top, this is the end of the game, and you run around the corner and almost get blown up by these huge stacks of Wile E. Coyote TNT. And then comes the ending cutscene. I'm not sure what game I'll play after this. I'd like to do something for Bioshock Infinite, of course. That doesn't come out for a few months. And then I'd like to do something for Dishonored, too, since that pretty much just looks like Bioshock and Thief. But that doesn't come out till October. I'm not sure what I'll do. I was thinking of doing something with Skyrim, but I haven't actually beaten that game, so I'll have to do a bit more research on it. But there's Rapture, wave bye to it, and that's it. This is the ending, so I will let you guys watch that, and then I will see you next time.
rapture dream was over. You taught me that innocence is chrysalis, a phase designed to end. Only when we are free from it do we know ourselves. You showed me that my survival, my joy, are all that matter. I indulge. Nothing else exists.